1. Why choosing a home theater brand is so damn hard in 2025. In 2025, choosing the right home theater brand feels like stepping into a battlefield of confusing specs, endless marketing claims, and overpriced hype. You're bombarded with sleek logos, shiny remotes, and buzzwords like Dolby Atmos, 8K pass-through, AI-enhanced sound, but no one actually tells you what matters to your room, your budget, or your ears. Worse, most buyers are stuck watching comparison videos that pit brands against each other based on numbers, not experience. Should you go with Sony because they've dominated for years? Should you gamble on a newer brand that offers insane features for half the price? And what about real-world usage? How it sounds in your room, how it handles your streaming setup, how it adapts to a small flat or a massive basement cinema. That nuance is missing. Most buyers feel lost, like they're either going to overspend on things they'll never use, or save money and regret every second. The pressure to make the right choice, one you'll live with for years, turns what should be an exciting upgrade into a minefield of anxiety and second-guessing. 2. Budget versus premium. What actually changes? Here's the harsh truth. Spending more doesn't always mean you're getting something better. In the home theater world, the line between budget and premium isn't just about sound quality. It's about long-term satisfaction, support, ecosystem lock-in, and psychological comfort. Budget brands often give you 80% of the premium experience at 40% of the cost. Sounds like a no-brainer, right? Not so fast. What you're really paying for with premium brands is refinement, smoother software, cleaner interfaces, fewer bugs, smarter audio tuning, better room calibration, future-proof HDMI support, and customer service that doesn't leave you in a 3-hour queue. On the flip side, many budget setups have caught up in raw audio performance and support newer formats like Dolby Atmos or DTS. But they can frustrate you with clunky apps, firmware issues, or lack of integration with your other gear. It's not just cheap versus expensive. It's how much do you want to fight your system to enjoy your movie night? And that's where the real decision lies. 3. Do brands even matter anymore? Or just features? This is the question that makes 2025 so unique. For decades, brands were shorthand for trust. Sony meant reliability, Yamaha meant musicality, Denon meant power, Bose meant lifestyle. But now, the playing field has shifted. We've entered an era where a mid-tier brand can outperform a legend, where newcomers like Monoprice or TCL can deliver Atmos and 4K pass-through for less than $500. And it doesn't sound half bad either. So does brand still matter? Yes, but not the way it used to. What matters more today is execution. Is the software polished? Does the brand support firmware updates? Do they have a history of fixing bugs or ghosting users after launch? Are the internals reliable? Because even a great feature list means nothing if your HDMI port dies in 6 months. Brands now earn their name by consistency, post-sale support, and how well they optimize the actual audio experience, not just what's printed on the box. So instead of asking which brand is best, in 2025 ask who's actually delivering on what they promise. 4. Should you still buy a full system or mix and match? In the past, buying a full home theater system from one brand felt like the safest, smartest move. All components tuned together, one remote to rule them all, fewer headaches. But in 2025, things are changing fast. Now, mixing a Sony receiver with clipped speakers and a Samsung TV might give you the exact experience you're chasing, if you know how to do it right. Brands are becoming more modular, and universal standards like HDMI eARC, Dolby Atmos, and CEC control are finally making cross-brand setups easier, at least in theory. But here's where most buyers trip. Compatibility isn't always seamless, and sometimes the advertised feature doesn't work quite the same across brands. You might end up with a volume delay, a lip sync issue, or a remote that just won't behave. Still, Mix and Match gives you one superpower: customization. You get to build a system around your room, your taste, and your priorities, rather than accept whatever a pre-built bundle gives you. If you're willing to research and tinker a bit, a hybrid setup can outperform even the best all-in-one brand package. But if you want plug-and-play simplicity with zero drama, sticking with one ecosystem is still the safest path. 5. Hidden traps first-time buyers fall into. This is the brutal part nobody warns you about. The hidden traps that make or break your experience after you've spent your money. First-time buyers often get seduced by flashy features like 9.1.4 Dolby Atmos or 120W RMS per channel, without realizing the rest of their room isn't ready for it. You may buy a 7-channel amp, but only have space for 2 speakers. You may spend $1,000 on a flagship soundbar, but never hear its Atmos effects because your ceiling is too low or your seating position is wrong. Or you chase big brand discounts, only to get stuck with an older model missing HDMI 2.1, meaning your shiny new gaming console can't push 4K 120Hz properly. Worse, many budget systems skip essential features like proper room calibration, making even powerful gear sound muddy. And don't even get started on cables, subwoofer placement, speaker wire gauge, or wall mounting nightmares. None of which are discussed until you're neck deep in setup stress. The key to winning in 2025, don't just buy specs. Buy the right system for your real room, your real lifestyle, and your actual content habits, even if it means ignoring the marketing and asking the harder questions. Category breakdown for every audience. Top budget-friendly home theater brands for 2025. Let's get real. Shopping for a home theater on a tight budget in 2025 feels like walking through a minefield. Prices are up, options are everywhere, and every brand promises cinematic sound at half the price. But when it comes to budget brands, not all of them are worth your hard-earned cash. You've got brands like Vizio, TCL, and Monoprice leading the charge. Vizio's M-Series, for instance, is killing it right now with Dolby Atmos support, wireless subwoofers, and legit 5.1.2 setups for under $500. TCL is coming in hot too, especially with their new Alto series that now supports HDMI eARC and improved bass control. But here's what no one tells you. The real value isn't just in features, it's in balance. A good budget system doesn't try to fake premium. It sticks to what works: tight mids, functional treble, and immersive, not overpowering bass. And then there's Monoprice, quietly dropping banger soundbars with full surround support and shockingly solid amps under $300. If you're a budget shopper, your key focus should be compatibility, upgradability, and real user reviews, not just specs on a box. Don't fall for flashy numbers like 800W peak power, without understanding if it's actually clean power. In 2025, the budget battlefield is about knowing what to ignore, not just what to buy. Best premium brands for audiophile-grade sound. Now let's shift gears and talk premium, real premium. We're talking about sound that doesn't just hit your ears. It crawls under your skin and pulls you into the movie. Premium home theater brands in 2025 are on another level. Think Marantz, Anthem, Arkham, NAD, and of course, Denon's higher-end X series. These brands aren't about gimmicks. They're about signal purity, processor quality, and ultra-precise room calibration. Marantz's latest AV10 separates and Cinema series have redefined what warm sound means, while Arkham's Class G amplification brings richness that's hard to unhear once you've experienced it. NAD's hybrid digital amplification and Anthem's Arc Genesis room correction system? Straight up elite. But here's the kicker. Premium today isn't just about sound. It's about smart integration, HDMI 2.1 support, low latency gaming, and 8K pass-through. You're not just buying speakers, you're buying a command center. Yes, you'll spend more, often in the $2,000 to $6,000 range. But what you get is control, confidence, and clarity that turns every session into an event. And if you're wondering whether it's worth saving for premium, if your ears crave detail, space, and realism, the answer is hell yes. Top Dolby Atmos-ready home theater brands. Dolby Atmos is no longer a luxury. It's the standard for any immersive home setup in 2025. But not every brand gets it right. Some just slap Atmos on the box and call it a day. Others, though, build their entire audio architecture around it. Brands like Sony, Samsung, and LG are going full in with vertical soundscapes, reflected ceiling audio, and multi-directional drivers. Sony's A9 system, for example, uses spatial mapping to create a 360-degree bubble of sound, no rear speakers required. Samsung's Q series brings Q Symphony tech that combines TV speakers with soundbars to add height without needing overhead installs. And then there's JBL, stepping up with their Bar 1300X, wireless, modular, and fully Atmos-ready with detachable surrounds. But if you're going for real Atmos, not just simulated, Look at AVRs from Denon and Yamaha that support full 5.1.4 or 7.2.4 setups. What no one tells you is this: Atmos only works if the room, the speakers, and the content all play together. That's why it's not just about choosing a brand. It's about choosing a system that supports Atmos the way it was meant to be heard. Ceiling speakers or up-firing modules, wired or wireless surrounds. These are questions 2025 buyers must ask. And the brands that deliver are the ones that treat Atmos like more than just a logo. Best wireless and all-in-one home theater options. Wires. That's old school. In 2025, wireless home theater systems are booming, and for good reason. People want clean setups, minimal fuss, and multi-room control. Enter the kings of wireless: Sonos, Bose, LG, and JBL. Sonos is still the benchmark, especially with their Arc Plus Sub Plus 1 SL combo. It's expensive, yes, but the soundstage is wide, the integration is flawless, and the app control is unmatched. Bose is fighting back hard with their smart Ultra Soundbar Plus bass module, now with refined directional audio and voice clarity. LG's wireless rear speaker kits and JBL's new modular systems are turning heads too, especially for apartment dwellers or renters who can't run wires. But here's the golden truth: not all wireless systems are truly wireless. Many still need a power cable for every component, and some use proprietary connections that limit flexibility. In this category, brand ecosystem matters as much as sound quality. Can you control it all from your phone? Can it link with your smart assistant? Can you expand the setup in future rooms? That's what defines a good wireless home theater in 2025. Choose a brand that supports future-proofing, real multi-channel decoding, and doesn't lock you in with outdated tech. Brands that nail surround sound the best. True 5.1 versus virtual. You've probably seen this everywhere. Brands promising virtual surround with just a soundbar and a sub. But let's be honest, nothing beats real surround. If you want to feel the snap of gunfire behind your head or the rumble of thunder move across your walls, you need a system with dedicated rear channels and precise processing. Brands like Yamaha, Denon, and Onkyo have nailed the formula. Yamaha's new True X series goes beyond traditional layouts, with portable wireless rears that adapt to your room. Denon's 5.1 setups offer discrete channels, clear dialogue, and spatial accuracy that virtual setups can't replicate. Onkyo, often underrated, delivers authentic 5.1 and even 7.1 packages with great value and strong decoding for Atmos and DTS-X. And here's something most people miss: calibration tools. Brands that offer proper mic calibration, like YPAO, Yamaha, or Odyssey Denon, make surround sound feel personal, not generic. In contrast, virtual surround relies on psychoacoustic tricks that work best in perfect conditions, which most living rooms don't have. Bottom line: if your goal is immersive, consistent surround, go for the brands that give you actual speakers for each channel, not software illusions. Underrated home theater brands you shouldn't ignore. We all know the giants, but 2025 is the year of underdogs rising. Some brands are quietly producing systems that outperform names twice their size. Ever heard of Emotiva? Their AVRs and amps are built like tanks, offer insane power delivery, and cost way less than you'd expect. Then there's Focal, a high-end speaker brand from France that's sneaking into more home theater setups with stunning detail and neutral voicing. Cambridge Audio and Monolith by Monoprice are killing it too, with solid components that deliver flagship performance without the flagship price. And don't forget Fluence, a Canadian brand that's making audiophile-level tower speakers for budget prices. Here's why these brands matter. They often cut the marketing fluff and put their money into build quality, audio tuning, and honest specs. They may not dominate YouTube ads or Best Buy shelves, but their gear gets rave reviews from pros and forums alike. In 2025, sleeping on these underrated brands could mean missing out on serious value and sound that punches way above its price tag.